The lightning did not behave like weather. It hunted. Blue-white forks crawled sideways through the sky, splitting, merging, striking the same ground twice. The air tasted metallic, sharp enough to sting the tongue. "Signal's gone again," Malik said, tapping the side of his helmet. "Command, do you copy?" Only static answered. "Try cycling the band," said Dr. Eli Kent, the scientist, his voice calm but tight. "We knew the ionization here would be unpredictable." "Unpredictable doesn't usually mean malicious," muttered Ron Kale, the security officer, scanning the ridgeline with his rifle raised but not aimed. A thunderclap hit so hard it felt like the planet itself exhaled. "Everyone stay low," said Thomas Yara, the geologist. "These rock faces." The lightning struck behind them. Not a crack, but a tearing. The cliff face split open in a blinding flash, fragments vaporizing midair. When the light faded, something impossible remained. An archway. Smooth, deliberate, carved into what had moments ago been solid stone. No one spoke for a long second. "That wasn't there," said Kurt Malice, the botanist. "No," Yara whispered. "No, it definitely wasn't." Another bolt hit nearby. Closer. Ron turned. "We don't have time to debate archaeology in a lightning storm. That opening is cover." "Or a trap," Malik added. "Or both," Ron said. "Move." They sprinted toward the archway as lightning clawed at the ground behind them. The temperature dropped the moment they crossed the threshold. Inside, the storm went silent. Not muffled, gone. They stood in darkness that felt contained. "Helm lights," Kent said softly. For beams flickered on. The passage extended inward, impossibly smooth, the walls bearing faint geometric patterns that seemed to shift when not directly observed. Malik tried comms again. "Orbiter, this is Away Team Alpha. We've taken shelter inside a structure. Signal conditions." A faint crackle. Then, a fa. "We read you intermittently. Report." "Command. We're inside." Malik's voice broke as the signal cut again. Ron exhaled. "We go deeper. Find a stable zone, re-establish contact." Kent hesitated, then nodded. "Agreed." Behind them, lightning struck the entrance. The archway sealed. No seam, no crack, just stone. "That's not good," said Kurt. Ron didn't turn back. "Forward," he said, and they stepped into the unknown. The corridor opened without warning. One moment, narrow passage. The next, vast space. Their lights swept across towering structures carved from the same seamless material. Pillars rose into darkness, bridges arched overhead, and far below, a floor that shimmered like liquid metal. A citadel, Kent breathed. "No dust," Kurt noted. "No growth. No decay. No life," Malik added. Ron didn't relax. "That doesn't mean empty." Yara knelt, running a scanner along the ground. "This place, it's ancient, but not abandoned in the way ruins are. It's like time stopped here." A low hum pulsed through the space. All four men froze. "Did you hear that?" Malik whispered. "Yes," Ron said. Weapons ready. Lights began to appear. Not from their helmets, from the structure itself. Lines ignited along the walls, forming patterns that resembled circuitry or veins. "Something just powered on," Kent said. "Trigger by us?" Kurt asked. "Or by the storm," Yara suggested. Malik tried comms again. "Command, we're inside a large structure. Systems appear active. Alpha, signal stabilizing. We're reading energy spikes from your position." "Repeat, energy." The floor shifted. Not physically, but perceptually. The space folded. 1 second they stood together. The next, Malik was gone. "Malik!" Kurt shouted. "Stay together." Rowan snapped, but the command came too late. The hum deepened, and the citadel responded. Malik fell, except he didn't hit anything. The world around him fractured into angles and light. When it resolved, he stood alone in a chamber shaped like a sphere, its walls alive with moving symbols. Okay, stay calm," he muttered. "This is fine." A voice spoke, not through comms, not through air. Inside his head, foreign presence detected. Malik froze. A hello. Classification, unknown. Threat assessment, pending. Panels of light formed around him, scanning. "Not hostile," Malik said quickly. "We're explorers. We didn't mean to." Pain lanced through his skull. Images flooded his mind. Worlds, structures, stars arranged in impossible configurations. Then, silence. Assessment complete, the voice said. Malik exhaled shakily. Great. So we get a pause. Judgment deferred. The floor vanished. Malik dropped into darkness. Elsewhere, Ron and Kent stood back to back in a corridor that had not existed moments before. Where are they? Kent demanded. No idea, Ron said. But something is separating us deliberately. A shape formed at the far end. Not quite solid. Not quite light. A construct. Security system, Ron said. Knew it. The figure moved. Fast. Ron fired. The shot passed through it harmlessly. Non-physical, Kent said. Or partially phased. The construct struck. Ron staggered, not from impact, but from something deeper, like his nervous system had been briefly rewritten. He gritted his teeth. It's not trying to kill us. Then what? Kent asked. Ron steadied himself. Test us. Kurt stood in a garden. Alive. Impossible. Plants unlike any he had seen. Spiraling, translucent, humming softly. Okay, he whispered. Now this is my field. A figure approached. Humanoid, but elongated, graceful, its surface shifting like liquid glass. Are you real? Kurt asked. Define real, it replied. Kurt laughed nervously. Fair. The being gestured to the garden. You understand growth. Adaptation. Balance. Kurt nodded slowly. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. Then answer. Why does your species consume without equilibrium? Kurt hesitated. That's complicated. Answer. He took a breath. Because we're still learning. We don't always get it right. But we try to fix things. We adapt. The being watched him. Then, the garden bloomed brighter. Response acceptable. Elsewhere, Yara stood before a collapsing landscape. Mountains forming and eroding in seconds. You study stone? A voice said. Yeah, he replied, awestruck. And this breaks every model I have. Then build a new one. He smiled. Gladly. Ron fought. Not to win, but to endure. Each strike from the construct tested reflex, judgment, restraint. Finally, he lowered his weapon. I'm not your enemy, he said. The construct stopped, then dissolved. Kent stood in darkness. Scientist, the voice said. Yes. Explain existence. He chuckled softly. I can't. A pause. Not completely. Not yet. Silence. Then, honesty detected. They reappeared together. Back in the central chamber. Malik stumbled forward. Okay, did anyone else just get interrogated by a godlike system? Something like that, Kurt said. The citadel pulsed. The voice returned, now unified. Assessment complete. Ron stepped forward, and a structure rose from the floor. A corridor. Inside it, horizons. Not a projection. Depth. Motion. Reality. Kent's breath caught. That's not possible. Transit network, the voice said. Inactive for your temporal scale. Temporal scale? Yara echoed. You are early. Malik blinked. Early for what? Expansion. The gateway flared. Coordinates, unknown, shifted within it. Is that another planet? Kurt asked. Multiple. Ron frowned. And you're offering us access? A pause. Evaluation. Your species is not yet ready. The light dimmed. But, Kent began. However, potential detected. A smaller aperture formed. Stable. Controlled. One path permitted. Malik looked at the others. So we go through. Ron shook his head. We don't make that call lightly. The comm crackled. Alpha, we have you. Energy spike detected. What is happening down there? Malik keyed in. Command, you're not going to believe this. He looked at the gateway, then at his team. Do we step into the future or report it? Silence hung between them. The storm outside raged unseen. The citadel waited. And somewhere beyond that doorway, entire worlds, unreachable, unless they chose otherwise.